Hey guys, Nurse Jackie here. So I want to redo the motivation to study video because I realized that I forgot one really important thing in that video, and I cannot believe that I forgot about it because it is a very, very important event that happened in my life that helped me to, like become a nurse. And I'm really, really disappointed in myself for forgetting. I really don't know how I forgot this. But yeah, so I think that it might be a good idea to actually talk about my journey, my struggles, and all the events that happened to me during nursing school in this video. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to summarize it and not tell you too many details and just get to the point. So let's start with my older sister. She's 6 years older than me. She never graduated high school. She dropped out her senior year of high school because she just really didn't like school. She was a rebel. She's kind of the black sheep of the family. She just did a lot of bad things that she shouldn't have done. As a younger sister, I looked up to her as a role model, and just seeing what she did and what she went through, I actually didn't want to be like that. And you would think that a lot of younger people would follow because, oh, it's my older sister, I want to do what she does. No, I saw it and I just didn't like it. I saw all the bad things that happened and I didn't want to be like her. Also, my family, of course, compared me to her, and I'm upset at them for this, but at the same time, I guess I kind of can't, be, I don't know, I don't know, but when I was a senior in high school, of course, all my family, my mom and my father, mostly my mom though, don't tell her, she always said that I was going to be like my older sister and I was going to drop out, and if I didn't drop out, I was going to fail out. She really didn't have faith that I was going to graduate high school, and I really don't know because I never really gave her a reason to think that. But I guess, I wasn't that great in high school. I didn't do homework, I didn't study, but I didn't fail. I never failed a class. I got close to it. My lowest grade in one of my classes was a 65, and below 65 is failing. So I technically didn't fail, but I was never going to get lower than that. Like my goal was to get 65 and above. So I don't know why she would think that, but I guess I kind of understand because my older sister did it, so she thought that I would follow her footsteps and do it. But that's not how I was thinking. I saw what happened, I saw what she went through, what she was going through, and I just didn't want to do that. So basically, I did graduate high school, I proved them wrong, and then I went into college. I went to nursing. I think there's a video that tells you why I chose nursing, so you guys can watch that if you want. It's a whole nother story behind that. So freshman year of college now, my mom is giving me all these warnings, my father's giving me all these warnings because I dormed at the school and they had to pay for it. So of course the whole lecture of you better do good, if you don't do good we're pulling you out and we're going to put you into a CUNY school that's so much cheaper because I went to a private school and it was really expensive. So tell me they're going to pull me out. If I don't do well, I better do well. And again, they didn't have faith that I was going to do well. They thought I wasn't going to make it through college. Of course, had to prove them wrong. So that was one thing that made me, really get through the nursing program. That was one thing that really motivated me, one thing that pushed me. I just had to prove her wrong, mostly her. Because my father, he was on the fence. But I just really needed to prove all of them wrong and show them that I wasn't my sister. I am not my older sister. I am me. I am Jackie, and I'm going to do what I want for myself. And I'm going to prove you wrong. So that was one thing. Then my freshman year, I actually met this guy. My college is an all-women's college, but they accept guys if they major in nursing. So that's not that many guys. It's 5 guys in total, and 3 of them are gay. So one of those guys I happened to meet, and we really liked each other, and we started to go out. We started to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and of course my mom gave me another lecture. If you fail because of him, we're pulling you out, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, didn't listen, I don't care, I know what I'm doing, I'm gonna be fine. Alright. So, let's see, it was my freshman year, second semester I think, I'm not sure. I took psychology, a prerequisite, and I actually failed that class. It wasn't because of my test grades, it wasn't because of that. which really gets me mad because I was going to get, I think, a B+ or an A- in that class, and I ended up failing because the teacher, the professor, accused me of plagiarizing in an essay. Okay, fine. I took one sentence, and I put it in my essay. Oh my goodness, it was a huge deal. I plagiarized, so I got a 0 for that essay, and it was worth 50% of my grade. 50%. So of course, I failed. I failed the class. Then I was put on probation in the school because plagiarism is not, like, they do not play with that. If you plagiarize, it's a huge deal and you're put on probation. If you do it again, you're out of the school. I'm like, great. One sentence, huge deal. Okay, I'm sorry, I learned my lesson. So I had to retake that stupid class, which put me a whole semester behind, okay? And I passed the class with an A. The highest grade you can get is an A. You can't get an A+. So my highest grade was an A. I mean, well, I got an A, which is the highest. Of course, I knew what I was doing. I'm not, like, dumb. Like, it was an easy course. It was just a stupid essay. So, of course, my mom was like, uh-oh, you're already failing. You're doing bad. Whatever. Okay. So, that summer, I refused. I'm not going to be behind. Like, I'm going to graduate on time. 4 years. I'm not taking 4.5 years. I'm not taking 5 years. 4 years, and that's it. I'm graduating. So I took the course that I was supposed to take that semester that I retook psych. That summer I took anatomy and physiology. So after that I got an A, the highest you can get. I got an A in that class in the summer. And then the next semester, the fall semester, I was on track again. I was on track with my class and I wasn't behind anymore. Okay. In your face, Mom. That's what I said. So now this is sophomore year, first semester. That semester, I actually joined the cross-country team because my father always said that I would be a great runner, and the school offered that, and the coach saw me one day and was just like, hey, you should join. You look like you would be a great runner. Fine, I joined, okay. Part of the cross-country team, we did practice. I don't remember, but it was ridiculous. We did like 10 miles in the woods. I hated it, but I did it anyway. And I ran a race and everything. One race, after that one race, I said I couldn't do this anymore. I stopped. Plus, it took way too much of my time. And if I wanted to graduate, I didn't want anything to be put in my way. So I kind of stopped, and I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't even having fun anyway. So I stopped. So this is the big thing that happened that I forgot to mention in the last video. First semester of my sophomore year, my grandmother had to go to the hospital. Something happened with her heart, and she was always in and out of the hospital, so I didn't really think anything of it. It's like, oh, she's going in, she's gonna come right back out, this keeps happening, like, she'll be fine. Yeah, she went in and she never came back out. I remember, it was a really sad and depressing time. Oh my God. I remember going to the hospital, and my mom would always stay over, and she had asked me one night if I could stay with her because she would always stay with someone else, and one night someone couldn't stay over with her, so I was like, yeah, of course, I'll stay. So I stayed with her one night, and I got to see how the nurses and doctors were, and some were good, some were bad. A lot of them were bad, and I really just didn't like it, and I learned a lot in that one night. It was the worst night of my life, though, because my grandmother was suffering so much, and the nurses weren't listening to us. The nurses were kind of rude and nasty, and just everyone there, their staff were really nasty. They were trying to kick me out because they didn't want so many people in the room, but no. I fought it. My grandmother is dying here in your hospital. I'm staying here. You're out of your mind. I don't care how crowded the room is. I'm staying here. There was only me, my mom, and my grandmother. How crowded can the room be? No. So, yeah, I learned a lot, and I was just convinced, like, no, I'm going to be a nurse, and I'm never, ever going to be like that, the way that I saw those nurses act. I just couldn't. And then, I don't know if I mentioned this in the video about me becoming a nurse, me choosing to be a nurse. My grandmother, when I was little, she would always ask me, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would say, I don't know, because I really didn't know. I was like 10, I don't know, I wasn't thinking. And she would say, oh, you're going to be a secretary. No, I don't want to be a secretary. Oh, you're going to be a doctor. No, I don't want to be a doctor. oh, you're going to be a nurse. I was like, no, I really don't want to be a nurse. She goes, no, you're going to be a nurse. You're going to be a nurse. And I always said no. And then, like, after a while, when I got into high school, she would ask me, the first thing she would ask me, what are you going to be, a nurse? She wouldn't even mention anything else. She would just keep saying nurse. And I was like, no, I didn't even think about being a nurse. I didn't want to be a nurse. And then my senior year, I had to decide, well, when I was applying to schools, I decided nursing, again, which is in the other video, but I'll briefly say it again, I guess. I had wanted to be a dentist, but it was too many years. I didn't want to do that. My mom suggested nursing. I said, okay, fine, whatever, I'll try it. Didn't really think anything of it. Ended up loving it, and when I saw my grandmother like that, and then I was in nursing school, and then remembering how she always said I was going to be a nurse, I was like, yeah, I have to make that come true. Like, my grandmother always knew that I was going to be a nurse. She always said it, and she's in the hospital, and it's like, oh, I have to do it. I'm about to start crying. But, yeah, so it's just like, I really, really have to do it. I can't let her down. And then, like a month later, she ended up dying in the hospital. And that was horrible because I was taking a test, actually. And in the middle of my test, I got a text message, and I knew exactly what that text message was. I finished the test as fast as I could. I gave it in, and I stepped out. I checked my phone, and it was a text from my sister telling me that she had died. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So that semester was really, really hard for me. I really had to, like, do the best I could. Like, it was really hard for me to study because all I kept thinking about was my grandmother. So, yeah, a lot of people can't handle it, and a lot of people drop out of school because of that, and I've had friends who have done that, and it's just like, I can't do it. My grandmother always wanted me to be a nurse. Like, I can't drop out. I can't stop now. Like, I'm almost halfway through. I need to do this. I need to do it for her. Sorry. So, I did. So that semester passed, and I'm still with this guy. I'm trying to calm down here. I'm still with this guy, and he was causing a lot of problems too. He ended up failing a class and then ended up failing another class the next semester, so he was one whole year behind. That was a big problem between us because now I'm a year ahead of him and he's a year behind, you know. We never got to see each other, and my school is full of girls, and all I see is him hanging out with these girls and stuff. So let's just say, like, we went through a lot of problems. I ended up being with him the whole entire time that I was in college for 4 years, plus a few months after when I had started working. That was when we broke up. So I had that, and that was, like, horrible. I had my grandmother, him causing so much problems. My older sister was going through a lot too. She actually had to live, like, in a homeless shelter, and she was on welfare. She found an apartment, and then she, like, lost the apartment because she decided to go to Florida, and then she came back from Florida, had nowhere to go, so her and her husband had to go back into a homeless shelter, and it was ridiculous and unnecessary, and I was going through all this crap, and I had to deal with all of that. So yeah, it was really hard to succeed in nursing school, but all of that really helped push me. And if it wasn't for all of that, I don't really know if I would be where I am today. So I am really thankful and appreciative to have that to push me to do well. So then it was like junior year wasn't too bad. That was, like, probably the best year I've ever had because I did maternity and peds that year. And of course, I love peds, so I really enjoyed the class. I really enjoyed the clinicals. Maternity was amazing. It was just the best semester I could ever have. Then senior year, my first semester, that was hard because I took, it's different in every school, the sequence of classes, but I took Adult Med Surg Part 2, which is, I think, the chronic or the acute part. I can't remember. One part's chronic, one part is acute. I don't know which one that was, but it was the hardest class. So it was the first semester, which I took sophomore year, but I struggled in both those classes. It was horrible. I barely passed. I think I passed those classes with a C plus. No. One of them I got a B minus. Don't know how I did that, and then I passed the other one with a C plus. Almost failed it, which was my junior year, my senior year, I almost failed it, which would have kicked me out of the program because that would have been my second failure, and it was it had a clinical. So the rules in my school is if you fail a class with a clinical and another regular class, you're out of the program. So I was almost kicked out my senior year. Like, I was having a heart attack. That was the worst time, because I remember waiting to get my grade, and I had to beg my clinical professor to give me full points on all my care plans. Like, please, please, please give it to me. I really need the extra points. I really need to pass this class. Bad. He ended up giving me the full points, and I ended up passing the class. It was ridiculous. I'm going to backtrack because I totally forgot. The time, my sophomore year, that was my worst year ever because of my grandmother and stuff. But also, I had the Med-Surg Part 1, which blew my mind. It was horrible. It was the hardest class ever. The teacher was horrible. I went through so much with her. And then I took the Med Math course. Oh my God, this teacher didn't know what the hell she was teaching. She didn't know how to teach. You ask her a question, she couldn't explain it to you. She didn't even know math, okay? I ended up failing that because of one test, and there was like a big problem with that. We were supposed to get 30 minutes to take the test. She came in 15 minutes late. We had 15 minutes to take that test. I am rushing, and while I was taking the test, I had to show all my work. I couldn't do all of that in 15 minutes. It was a 20-question test that I had to show all my work in 15 minutes, and it's the test that would make me pass or fail the class. Do you know how much pressure that is? No, there's just no way I could do that in 15 minutes. So of course I messed up, and I think we had to get like a 90 on the test in order to pass. Of course I got like 2 wrong, so I'm out. I failed the class. I had to fight that. I went up to the dean with a group of people. We fought that class. We fought that, and then it was the same teacher who taught the Med-Surg part. So horrible, horrible, whatever. Had to go through that with the dean. Ended up taking the math course again in the summer, and she said a part of the agreement was that she wasn't gonna put a strike against us, and that the course was gonna be free. That's fine. I'll do that. Teacher was horrible. It's not gonna go against me, and I get to take it for free. That's fine. It's an easy class. I knew I was gonna pass it. Ended up passing it with an A in the summer. Sorry, this is like all over the place, but I didn't want to forget anything. Let me see, anything else? Finally, senior year, last semester, easiest semester of my life. Oh yeah, I was an RA senior year, which was ridiculously stressful also. I don't know why I put myself through this. Oh yeah, because I wanted to dorm for free, that's why. Or else I would have had to I would have had to stay home. Which again, I did. Junior year, I had to stay home and travel back and forth from home to school, which was about an hour ride on the train and bus because my parents didn't want to pay. So it was really hard to study at home because I had my little sister, and I had my dog, and I had my 2 parents that were always bothering me all the time, and they didn't understand that I had to study every second of my life. So it was really hard. Senior year, okay, back to senior year. I keep going back and forth. Senior year, resident assistant, crazy, had to do all this extra stuff. But then my last semester was the easiest of my life. It was a lot of work, but it was the easiest semester ever, and it was good. I ended up passing everything, and I graduated with a GPA of a 3.45, which pissed me off because I wanted a 3.5, and I was so close to the 3.5, 0.05 away from a 3.5. Do you know how aggravating that is? So anyway, did that, graduated, my parents went, my family, whatever. In your face, it was the best moment of my life because I got to shove my degree in my mother's face and my father and the rest of my family. In your face, guys, I just freaking graduated from nursing school with my bachelor's degree. Thank you very much. And on top of that, I had a lot of pressure because I am the first child of the family. There's 5 kids. My 2 cousins, 1 boy, another boy. One is like 30-something, the other one is 27 or something. And then my older sister who is now 29, my younger sister who is now 16, and me. 5 kids. Oh, if you want to count my half-brother who's in his 30s and my half-sister who's like 28, 7, so we'll say 7. Out of 7 kids in my family, I was the first one to graduate with a degree. The first one to actually finish, and then the first one to have a bachelor's degree. The first one to even have a degree. Everyone else, besides my little sister who's in high school, everyone else, and my older sister who didn't go to college, everyone else, my 2 cousins and my half-brother and half-sister went to college, dropped out, never finished. So, in your face, everyone, I passed, I graduated, I got my degree, and not only that, but I took the NCLEX, and I passed the NCLEX on my first try. So, it was a very big triumph, a very well-earned degree, I must say. And I'm extremely proud of myself, and I know that my grandmother is looking down on me, and she's very proud. So yes, this is my story, and I'm sorry that this video took like 20 minutes, but I thought that it was a really good opportunity and good way of telling you guys about my journey through nursing school and what I had to go through and how it was not an easy breeze for me. It was hard, but I got through it. And if I can get through it, a lot of you and every one of you actually can get through it too. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of devotion, a lot of determination, a lot of positivity to get through it. And like I said, like, I know that it's hard. I've been there, I've done it. You can do it too. So take my word for it. You can do it. You will do it. Be positive. Okay guys, I'm gonna end this video because it's way too long. Bye.